It started with a snowball. One throw, one dare, and a stadium full of fans became an army. The players ran. The cops froze. For one night, the crowd owned the game. But someone started it, and no one's talking. The Snowball Riot. On the coldest night of the season, a small-town stadium prepared for what should have been an ordinary game. Fans had waited weeks for this matchup, bundled in coats and scarves, chasing warmth from hot chocolate and old rivalries. Inside the locker room, players focused on the game plan, unaware that history was about to be written that night. Thousands of fans streamed through the gates, each one carrying the same quiet excitement for a night under the lights. The snowfall was light at first, almost peaceful, dusting the empty seats like the calm before something much bigger. Vendors called out over the noise, selling warmth in paper cups, as the stadium slowly filled with restless energy. In Section 214, a group of teenagers packed snow into tight little balls, calling a harmless fun before the anthem. The anthem played beneath the falling snow, and for a moment, the entire stadium stood united in quiet reverence. The first pitch cut through the falling snow, and the game began exactly the way everyone expected it to. For the first few innings, everything felt normal, familiar, safe, the way baseball always had, inning after quiet inning. But as the score began to slip away, frustration crept quietly to the crowd like a slow-building storm. High in the upper deck, a small group grew restless, their hands already shaping something colder than frustration alone. Then, without warning, a single snowball left someone's hand and sailed silently through the cold stadium air. It landed near the outfielder, who spun around in surprise, scanning thousands of faces for the one responsible. Nervous laughter spread through nearby sections, phones rising instantly, sensing something unusual was beginning to unfold. Security noticed immediately, radios crackling with quiet warnings, though no one yet understood how fast this would spread. Within seconds, a second snowball flew, then a third, each one daring someone else to join the chaos. What started as one impulsive throw was quickly becoming an unspoken challenge, spreading across the entire stadium. Players on the field exchanged uneasy glances, unsure whether to laugh it off or call for help. The mood shifted fast, calm turning to chaos, as more and more fans rose from their seats. Dozens of snowballs now filled the air at once, a blizzard forming above thousands of cheering fans. The umpire pulled off his mask in frustration, unsure how a simple game had spiraled this quickly. In the announcer's booth, officials argued over speakers, debating whether the game could safely continue at all. Fans in the lower bowl began chanting together, standing on seats, throwing snow in rhythmic, defiant unison. One player finally broke, sprinting toward the dugout, glove raised high to shield himself from the storm. Within minutes, the outfield stood completely empty, abandoned to a storm no one had prepared for tonight. Security guards froze at the field's edge, radios crackling uselessly, unwilling to step into the growing chaos. From above, the scale became clear, an entire stadium united, no longer watching the game, but making one. Fans began climbing over railings, dropping onto the field itself, claiming ground that once belonged to players. The stadium lights flickered against the storm, casting long shadows across a field no longer under control. Hundreds stood shoulder to shoulder on the grass, arms raised together, celebrating a moment they now owned. A lone officer stood frozen at the fence, hand hovering near his radio, unsure how to respond. Announcers pleaded for calm over crackling speakers, their voices lost beneath the roar of thousands of fans. The field transformed into a sea of bodies and snow, a chaotic mosaic no camera could fully capture. One young fan lifted a snowball high above his head, screaming with joy that felt almost primal. Strangers became allies in an instant, laughing, high-fiving, moving together as though they had always belonged. Both dugouts sat empty now, abandoned entirely, as the crowd claimed a field that no longer belonged to anyone else. Under the golden glow of the lights, the chaos almost looked beautiful, like something staged for film. By now, every section had emptied completely. Every single fan pulled toward the same magnetic moment below. Outside the stadium, live stream spread the moment instantly, Thousands more watching a night already becoming legend. For a brief and shining moment, it felt like triumph, like the crowd itself had become the show. Strangers embraced like old friends, faces glowing with adrenaline, disbelief, and something close to pride. A group hoisted one fan onto their shoulders, chanting his name as though he had led an army. The outfield glowed beneath the floodlights, snow swirling like a blizzard over a battlefield of joy. A news helicopter passed overhead, its spotlight sweeping the field, broadcasting the moment to the entire city. Someone set off fireworks near the outfield wall, and for a moment, the sky itself seemed to celebrate. From above, the stadium looked almost cinematic, gold and white, alive with energy no one could deny. From the tunnel, players watched in stunned silence, half smiling at a spectacle they never could have planned. Thousands of phones rose together, screens glowing like scattered stars across a stadium wrapped in snow. A father lifted his daughter onto his shoulders, wanting her to witness a night she'd never forget. The crowd formed a massive circle, chanting as one voice, bound together by something larger than the game. The scheduled end time came and went, completely forgotten, as the celebration refused to slow down at all. Outside the gates, flashing lights began to gather, a growing line of vehicles waiting in the snow. Inside the vans, officers strapped on riot gear, exchanging tense glances before stepping into the cold. A line of officers moved through the tunnel, boots echoing, radios buzzing with commands to clear the field. The crowd's energy shifted instantly, laughter fading into confusion as authority finally stepped onto the field. A megaphone cut through the noise, ordering the crowd to disperse and return to their seats now. Panic rippled through part of the crowd, some fleeing toward exits, others standing their ground defiantly. One by one, individuals were pulled aside and escorted out, hands raised beneath the falling snow. The once unified crowd began splitting apart, fractured now by fear, confusion, and the weight of consequence. Security cameras panned slowly across the field, quietly recording faces that would soon face consequences. Exits jammed with bodies pushing to leave, tension rising as officers tried to direct the retreat. Jackets, hats, and gloves lay scattered across the field, remnants of celebration now falling apart. Within an hour, the stadium stood nearly empty, snow falling silently on the ground no longer contested. By morning, news anchors across the region were already calling it the night the stadium broke. In the weeks that followed, several fans sat nervously in courthouse hallways, facing charges no one expected. Newspapers ran the story for days, debating whether it was harmless fun or something far more serious. Team officials faced a room full of reporters, struggling to explain how one snowball spiraled this far. The next morning, the stadium sat silent and empty, snow blanketing a field that once roared with life. Maintenance crews moved quietly through the wreckage, clearing debris from a night already becoming legend. A single glove lay forgotten in the snow, a quiet reminder of everything that had happened here. Sunlight broke through the clouds, casting long shadows across seats that had held an entire city. Miles away, one young fan replayed the footage, unsure whether to feel proud or deeply ashamed. Officials gathered to rewrite the rules, determined to ensure a night like this never happened again. New signs appeared at every entrance, quiet warnings born from a single unforgettable night of chaos. Months later, the footage still circulated, replayed endlessly by those trying to understand what really happened. Eventually, the stadium filled again, fans seated calmly beneath falling snow, life slowly returning to normal. One older fan smiled quietly, remembering the night the crowd briefly became something more than spectators. As the camera pulled away, the stadium lights glowed warmly, holding on to a story it would never forget. And somewhere beneath all that snow, the story of that single, unforgettable night still remained.